The stars are out at Bolero Matthews in North Carolina, Mike J. Lane's side, with Bob Learn Jr. I love country music, Bob, because it celebrates what was, what is, and what's going to be. And getting a chance to see you just reminds me of what was, what is, and what's going to be. And first of all, you still look like you could crash through a brick wall. How's life for the PBA 50 version of Bob Learn?
Well, you know, I still love to bowl. I do a lot of coaching now with college and whatnot, but I bowl Tuesday nights with Jimmie in league. So we were just last night bowling together in league, and then here we are today. He invited me over here to have a little fun with this event. So I'm excited about just having a chance to be here.
Well, that's fantastic news from your coach's eye. How would you describe Jimmie's approach to the foul line?
Well, we've had a little time to work, but we need more time. But you know what? This guy loves bowling. He absolutely loves bowling. He bowls multiple leagues a week, and I don't know how he finds the time for it, to be honest. He travels, he comes back, and he still gets the league. So it's not that he's just doing bowling. He loves it.
It's palpable. You can see it in his eyes. As we talk about celebrities bowling, you're an old hand at this. People going back in time, you're one of the biggest, best trick shot practitioners. We got to work a few of them, and you are, not to mention your PBA credentials and your legendary status as Mr. 300, but few folks may know how really good you are at setting up and executing trick shots. How did that begin?
Well, there was this guy named Andy Verapapa he was the man for trick shots. When I was 19 years old, it was his last year that he was with us. I was in Long Island. He was sitting there having lunch. I sat there with him and talked to him, and man, I just after talking to him, he encouraged me to do more than what he had done, try different trick shots. So I went back, I watched all his trick shots, and said, now how can I create some different ones, right? And so that was early on. He got me inspired to do that. So, and I've shared a lot. The ones you see today are a lot of those that either he came up with or I had a hand in. So, yeah, it's fun. You know, nobody remembers if you shoot 230 in an exhibition, but they'll remember if you have two balls in one hand, you know, and make a 7-10. So, and that's what he sold me on, you know, showmanship.
Well, looking back on your career, a favorite moment that sticks out during your competition, what would that be?
Well, I mean, listen, being able to get in front of my hometown crowd, you know, we had such a huge following in Erie. Certainly had to be at the top of being the best PBA fans, and then be able to get up in front of my hometown and put on a performance of a lifetime. How do you top that, you know? But I mean, U.S. Open, that wasn't a bad one either. Listen, I still enjoy doing it. I love the PBA 50 and 60 now because I get to see a lot of the guys I used to compete with coming out now, and maybe some of them I haven't seen in 20 years. And that really is as much for me as the competition itself.
Sure. And for everybody out there, I'm 57. For those that are moving through their 30s, 40s into their 50s, what would you offer in terms of advice for the changing nature of the game and how you can still find satisfaction and be successful as your body changes and as things change over time?
Well, certainly it helps if you try to stay in better shape, right? But honestly, not being stubborn, being willing to evolve. The game is going to change. We expect that it should change, right? Each generation, as Johnny Petraglia says, it's a very true statement. Each generation before us learned, right, from the one before. And I learned from the generation before me. And so it's going to evolve. Be open-minded and work on some of the changes that need to be successful here, and don't be bitter about the fact that it has changed. And I think that's the biggest roadblock for a lot of people, is they don't want to see change happen. But either you stay where you're at or you evolve and you continue to be competitive.
Great advice from Bob Learn. And I knew you were going to Erie. I just wanted to take the ride. I wanted to take the ride one more time. Bob Learn Jr. at the PBA Jimmie Allen Challenge.